Hi, my name is Nadia, and I'm a part of the Huntington High Speech and Debate team, and I will be showing you how to compile a poetry. In this video, I will teach you how to pick a topic, how to find and choose pieces of poetry, how to find transcripts of video poetries, how to organize and compile all poetries into a document, how to put the poetry pieces in an effective order, and how to make an introduction and revise/change previously made choices. First, I'm going to teach you about choosing topics. The first step to choosing a topic is brainstorming some topics you would like to make your poetry program about. Some questions that might help you think of topics are: what do you enjoy doing? What are the biggest problems you feel the world your country a place is currently experiencing? What are the biggest problems you're experiencing have experienced? What is a problem you are passionate about? What is an experience job feeling, etc. that you are passionate about? And is there a topic you love to talk about? After brainstorming, whittle it down to 1 to 3 options. Make sure the topics are broad. An example of this would be: depression is a broad topic, but how depression affects teens is specific. The reason for this is that there are lots of poetries to choose from under broad topics, but it's hard to find poetry about very specific topics. As you choose your poetry pieces, a more specific topic will naturally form. Now that you've chosen a topic, it's time to move on to choosing poetry pieces. Once you have a topic, you can now find poetry pieces. Here are a few of my favorite ways to find pieces. The first, and the one that I use the most, is watching slam poetries on YouTube. An example search would be racism slam poetry. I recommend this as slam poetry is meant to be read aloud and have a lasting impact on the viewer within a small amount of time. The next resource is Poetry Out Loud, Poetry Foundation, and other poetry websites. The links are on the screen. Poetry Out Loud and Poetry Foundation both have a large library of poetry. It could be harder to find poems based on topic through this method, though. The next method is looking at poetry anthologies and books. Your local library or school library will most likely have a poetry section. You can check out these books to find options within them. The last method I recommend is searching online. An example search would be depression of poems. Simply searching online poems related to your topic will also be beneficial. Choose pieces that stand out to you or connect with other pieces you have chosen. Make sure they have the same overarching topic or connection of some sort. They don't have to be exactly connected to each other. For example, if your topic is the struggles women face, you might have a poetry about toxic work environments and another poetry about being looked down upon. These poetries have different main ideas, but they both connect to your main topic. Now that you've found your pieces, it's time to organize and compile them. First, bring all the pieces you chose into a Google or Word document and organize them. An example way to organize is on the screen. I recommend putting the entire poem for each piece in your document. This document is not your final poetry program, but just the collection of poetries you have chosen to possibly be in your poetry program. Regarding YouTube video poetries, you can get the transcript by clicking on the description, scrolling all the way down, and clicking Shows Transcript. You can then toggle timestamps to make it easier to copy and paste into your Word or Google document. Now that you've put all the poems in your document, reread through all of them and highlight the parts you would consider using in your program. This can be the whole poetry or just specific parts. Make a new document and start putting the pieces in the order you like most. This can be an order that tells a story, meaningful, or you just like that one poetry goes after the other. It's up to you. The order of your poetry will take a lot of trial and error. One thing I don't recommend, though, is putting a poem in its entirety first, then another poem in its entirety, and then another. It can feel clunky and like there's no story, that you're just telling me poems, right? In my opinion, it's better to break each poem you use into pieces and put them together in an order that feels right. So you might have the first bit of a poem or the first half first, and then another poem, but just a bit of it, and then so on and so forth. Now that you have your poetry program, you will need to introduce it. After a teaser, which is the first 20 to 60 seconds of your piece, and it's just a poem, not your own words, your introduction will be next. This is all your own words, and I would recommend including the following: an introduction to your topic/problem, a statistic about your topic/problem, the name of every poetry and author you use, and the name of your poetry program. Once you make your poetry, it isn't done yet. You can still continue to rearrange it. As you read it aloud and perform your poetry program, you may decide parts of your piece would be better in a different place, and that's great. It just means that your program is becoming more polished. And that's it. Your poetry program is made how you would like to organize it. There is no right or wrong answer, and it is an art and a process with lots of trial and error. If you have any questions, please comment below. Thank you for watching, and more videos related to speech and debate will be coming out soon.